Yes.
All right. So if you've read and understood, considering it critical care scenario, please tell me how are you going to manage this patient now?
Um, I'm going to manage the patient. First of all, I'm going to resuscitate the patient
Okay.
according to
What would be the first thing you'll do? You'll manage the patient according to which protocol? Begin from
ABC
there.
protocol.
Okay.
Uh, ABC protocol,
Yes.
and I will assess the as mentioned all the vitals are suggesting that the patient is in septic shock,
Okay.
and um I will I will pass and I will keep the patient nil by mouth and pass NG tube and two wide bore IV cannulas, and I will resuscitate the patient, decompress the uh, gastric decompression,
Okay.
and
Why gastric decompression? What, all right. Before you'll begin managing the patient, what are the differential diagnoses that you'll keep in your mind? What would be primary differential diagnosis and secondary and tertiary, according to which you'll begin your management?
as the pain is in the left iliac fossa,
Yes.
so I will think about uh, sigmoid volvulus
Okay. This is
and
number one, primary. Yes. What other differential diagnosis would you keep in your mind?
ischemic colitis,
Okay.
and uh, as the patient is a female,
Yes.
so it could be uh, ovarian torsion.
All right. Okay. And all right. Now that it's already in your mind that it could be a surgical case. So you did the patient nil by mouth, then you started resuscitation. How would you take care of the patient's blood pressure?
Yes, I will give the isotonic crystalloid to the patient,
Okay.
normal saline, um, 25 to 250 in IV boluses, and
Okay.
repeat after every 15 minutes,
Yes.
and with the BP monitoring,
Yes.
and preferably if there is no contraindication as per the CVP pressure.
Okay. Considering that you said patient is in septic shock, what is
Yes,
what else is important for you to keep in your mind while you're managing this patient?
the urine output monitoring, intake and output monitoring.
You think in the last 1 hour, patient has only 10 ml of urine. Why? What might be the cause?
That is due to hypovolemia and hypoperfusion of the kidneys, and acute kidney injury.
That can
And
occur. Okay.
so,
How would you make sure? First of all, you'll check if the catheter is
if the catheter is
fixed
not
or
blocked,
yes. Then
yes,
you'll reassure and blood pressure is low as well. How would you take care of the arterial blood gases of the patient? Why is patient in metabolic acidosis state?
here the information is very limited to.
Yes,
There's no history of
provided what
vomiting.
you, yes, but patient is already disoriented and it's already fragile patient, 78 years old, elderly patient. But how are you going to take care of the metabolic acidosis? What measures would you take?
For metabolic acidosis,
Yes, please.
sodium bicarbonate, um,
How are you going to give that and in what amount?
8.4%, ampoule of soda bicarb. Um, I'm not sure about the exact potency of that.
How
Uh,
are you going to take care of the nutritional status of the patient?
right now, the patient is in disorientation and left iliac fossa pain and tenderness. I would keep the patient nil by mouth
Yes.
and um, g- get
Instead
through
of
all the
using nil by
investigations,
mouth, yes, okay. Yes, then
get done with all the investigations, and will establish the diagnosis after examination and investigation. And then,
what other investigations are essential in your opinion for the management of this patient?
as the patient is presented accident emergency, I would go uh, with the with ultrasound abdomen
Okay,
and
good.
CT abdomen
All
and
right, okay,
X-rays and X-ray abdomen, anteroposterior and supine views,
okay, yes.
and
Or
rest of the profile blood test, uh,
which ones?
RFT, urea, renal profile, urine electrolytes,
Okay, yes,
as well as full as provided full blood count is given and TLC is raised, and
okay,
the blood glucose level, blood group
yes,
and cross match.
yes. There is one another likely metabolic or electrolyte abnormality which can occur in this scenario. Can you name it? Which you should, as a surgeon, be careful about. One, electrolyte imbalance,
One
which
electro
can
I'm not sure about the electrolyte type of electrolyte balance because there is no vomiting, no diarrhea,
no, 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 no.
nothing.
Plenty of information is here for you to guess. When there is metabolic
Metabolic
acidosis,
acidosis.
yes, and there is sepsis or patient is in septic shock, already you know urine output is less. You already know that acute renal injury is there, acute kidney injury is there. So would there be hypokalemia or hyperkalemia
There would
that
be
you should?
hypokalemia. Oh, in this no hyperkalemia.
Yes,
Hyperkalemia because the kidney
hyperkalemia.
is kidney normally gets rid of the potassium, but in this case, it would be hyperkalemia.
Yes, and the septic shock is also there. Right. So if you could tell me how would you take care of this hyperkalemia and what are the complications that if you fail to manage this lady on time, what are the complications that can occur?
Okay. For hyperkalemia, the first of all, the I would like to stabilize the myocardium. First of all, I will check whether there are any ECG changes and what are the exact level. If it is more than 6.5 milliequivalent per liter, along with ECG changes, I would immediately start the management with the stabilization of the myocardium with calcium gluconate, 10% of 10 ml of 10% over 10 minutes. And then I will give 50, 50 ml of 50 per dextrose water, 50% of dextrose water, uh, 50 ml along with insulin, which is 10 units IV, uh, to mobilize the potassium intracellularly, and as well as if over 15 to 30 minutes, if it did not improve, then I would go for salbutamol nebulization and with over 30 minutes. And if that didn't work, then I could go for management plans like calcium rhizonium chelation, to get rid of the excess potassium out of through the gastrointestinal tract. And if all the measures are, if there is refractory hyperkalemia, then I would go for dialysis.
Okay, depending upon the condition, right. Uh,
And,
can
and the
you please
complications and the
define,
compli
yes, the complications? Yes, the next question.
and the complications that may arise, considering it to be a volvulus right now.
That was your first primary differential
Yes.
diagnosis, that it could be sigmoid volvulus. So if that is, then
Then there will be uh, bowel ischemia,
yes,
necrosis,
then
gangrene,
leading to, yes,
leading to gangrene,
hmm,
and perforation,
yes, possible.
sepsis.
Except, yes, septic is already there. Patient could get into, what is the complication which advances?
The mesenteric ischemia.
No, that is already there, but
Yes,
disseminated intravascular coagulation. And
DIC. Yes, multi.
right, just suppose if it is a diverticular abscess. See, because patient is elderly lady, and the second provisional diagnosis that is most likely, like in elderlies, there could be diverticular disease and there is diverticular abscess, uh, and that has resulted. So, what would be the complications that can occur?
Sorry, I am unable to recall that. There
Okay,
would be perforation.
yeah, could
There
be.
would be,
So when you're managing the patient, would you because you did remember reading this time that there was increased white blood cell
yes,
count.
yes.
So are you going to, when you're managing the patient, are you going to consider giving antibiotics to the patient or not?
Yes, pre-operatively,
According to the trust guidelines,
trust
is what I
guidelines.
told you yesterday. Okay. So when you're managing the patient, I'll tell you, time has gone up. That's why we are on the last screen. I'll tell you that when you are managing the patient, so first thing that you would have to keep it in your mind that, okay, since patient is in already in septic shock, so you have to make sure that patient does not get worse. So you'll make sure that patient gets oxygen, patient gets IV fluids. So when you're considering IV fluids, so you can even either give normal saline or crystalloids. Then you will also consider the respiratory support, the renal support, cardiac management, cardiac support, and nutritional support. All these sports you would have to keep in your minds, and antibiotics according to the trust guidelines. At the same time, you will ask for the ultrasound and CT just to confirm if it is diverticular abscess or it's sigmoid volvulus, or it is
Okay.
any other viscous perforation. So this is the management that you have to keep in your mind. What are the disadvantages for asking for CT scan in this particular case?
As the urine output is already 10 ml, it can cause or worsen along with contrast.
Okay, if you'll use the contrast, yes.
The kidney
And
reverse.
and it could be
It
time
could be
consuming.
allergy. It
No,
could be time
allergy
consuming.
is okay, yes, one point, but it could be time consuming. What if CT
Yes.
scan is not working? And what if CT scan facility is not available in that system or in that facility, in that location? So it's going to consume time. So these are the disadvantages. Yes, allergy is also one that you thought of. Very good. Good. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.